So the YouTuber Alex Emsley, who also goes by ImAllexx, had a huge exposed document dropped on him last weekend by Alice Hees, who tweets it out with the caption, "Here's my statement on the situation I've been scared to speak out on. It's best it was made public how horrible this person with a platform is. I'd hate to see another woman go through this. Please read the statement before continuing." The statement starts out with a trigger warning, then she says, "This is a sensitive subject for me, as I have struggled to figure out how to put it into words. I have been threatened by Alex to not come out with anything at all, or he will create a contradicting story to discredit my own, but I'm not scared anymore. No matter what is said in response to the statement, I know I've said my piece and can move on with my life. I made this document as a compilation of my experiences whilst being with Alex, and have put screenshots of these accounts under the corresponding paragraphs. This will be a long one, as I want to start from the beginning, so you can understand the full story and heavy burden this has been on me. We had known of each other for years before we interacted, and were seeing each other for a few months before anything was official. We started officially dating on March 17th, 2023, giving each other 100% of our attention, time, and effort with no arguments. After that, time passed, and small things became huge issues, which were over Discord at first. Alex felt that because I am home all day and work from home, that I would be able to call 24/7, and completely shut out any other social interactions I have with my friends. To avoid that, I invited him into my groups and stopped working as much. These small arguments worsened to the point where he would turn on his camera and start shouting at me on call, going as far to tell me to self-harm at this point, after I told him about my history prior. This would be accompanied by multiple horrible messages calling me a whore, a bitch, and slimy. He would also tell me that I caused arguments as an excuse for me to leave him, saying, "I don't know how I ended up with someone like you." After screaming at me in calls and disregarding everything I have ever said, he would explain how it is always my fault and that I should apologize, that I should fix it and fight for him after he has made it worse by completely dehumanizing and degrading me. I would get breakup threats because I interacted with my followers' tweets, which I would then apologize for after he made it very clear he was upset, but demands more from me. This would be followed by continuing to call me a bitch, and threatening, "I'm going to refollow everyone I unfollowed for you, if you are going to be like that." I found later on he was still interacting with many people he had old relations with, and found him stalking his ex with her old nudes in his phone. I'm going to link all of the horrible messages that have been sent to me. They consist of him calling me unlovable, whore, psycho, telling me he doesn't want to be with me, breaks up with me, then takes it back. Then after all these arguments, he apologizes and love bombs me for forgiveness. For context in regards to me, I have depression, and he made it severely worse when he would insult me and make me feel like he doesn't care or love me. I found it hard to stay happy every day dating someone who says these things so easily to me, feeling no remorse or guilt. He just flew past the days like nothing ever happened. This was immensely draining on my side. I don't know if this is just a me thing, so I've been scared to talk out about this because I'm worried I won't be easily understood. People will question why I even stayed, and believe me, I wish I could turn back time. But I believed his lies when he apologized to me, and I really tried to believe he would stop going so far if I asked him to. I thought I was good enough for him to stop calling me a whore, or tell me to die, or threaten to leave in every argument. Got to points in arguments he would poke until I gave a reaction, calling me names until I finally snapped. Whenever I would react, I would be threatened with a breakup. I changed myself by suppressing my emotions, and that I was not upset over previous arguments, because he would get angry and tell me to get over it. He would tell me, "I said sorry, so would you shut up?" These were one-sided narcissistic arguments, telling me my feelings meant nothing and that they were based on wank. But when he is upset, I get spammed in my messages about 100 insults until I say sorry, no matter who was at fault. He would tell me he can change my life forever, that I need him, and that I am nothing without him and what he does for me. He took out anger from his friends on me, telling me I can do anything I want, alone, without any of you. Work-related arguments would be weekly, nearly daily if I showed signs of me being sad over something he said to me. You should be fucking grateful that as someone with this experience I actually have tried to talk to you about something like that. This was him talking about whether I wanted to stream or make YouTube videos. If the conversation didn't go his way, or I said I didn't want to do a certain thing, he would blow up and get upset because I wouldn't do it his way, then continue to belittle me. I would always tell him I'm not with him for work talk. I don't care how much you can help me if all this will do is cause arguments. I don't care how successful I can be. He pushed it on me to take his knowledge and make videos with him, when all I want is my boyfriend. I only ever wanted something personal and genuine, and I never got that. He told me, "You were like everyone else. idiots. Stupid fucking idiots who think they know better than the only man who has successfully done it all. I said I wanted to stream on Twitch, and he gave me reasons why it wouldn't work, and reasons not to. I got sad because I was planning so much, set up my channel, and went to him all happy about doing my own thing, and he devalued it and called me small-brained. Alex would tell me he meant it when he said these horrible things to me, but would tell me he didn't mean it after he had calmed down. He told me to shut up and kill yourself, after I told him it was a dream of mine to expand into other platforms. He has called me the N-word after I've said sorry about this situation. I said sorry for telling him my goals and dreams, and he belittled them, all trying to take control of what I wanted to do. When I got sad, he got angry. You could have listened to a master plan for free, he said. He would tell me to die constantly, told me that he didn't want me and that he could easily replace me. At this point in time, I have broken down to his level. I ended up calling him what he is, and lost all sense of reality. Because how can this be real? This can't be real. He can't mean any of this and still love bomb and stay with me, right? At this point, I'm so scared of starting any argument, so I say sorry excessively. After telling me he isn't mad anymore, he ends up telling me we are over and starting over again. Again, another argument about content creation. He goes, "It's easy to sit there like everyone else and cry about it when you're a jobless freak. Imagine trying to teach retards like you and my mates how to do this." I would reply by explaining how he was rude and that I got offended. He goes on to say, "N-word, that's the truth," and yourself. I just told you how to make 6 figures, so fuck off. I told him how I don't think I am good enough to do it, and he would just insult me more. We ended up going on holiday together to Italy in July, and an argument came out about when he was watching a video about a girl being hypersexual after trauma. I opened up to him about my essay, and the trauma that I have been through myself. In response to this, he tells me he doesn't want to know what has been done to me by other guys, and I ended up leaving into another room crying. He threatened to leave and get a flight back on his own. Taking into account this was only my 3rd time abroad, and he knew that, it would make me very upset and scared. Like he knew I needed him there with me. Bringing up weird shit on our first holiday. You ruined every moment. I have no fond memories with you. I spoke about something I went through and the trauma, opening up to him about my experience with SA, and this is how he responded. He ended up canceling coming to see me on my birthday, or forgot it, and went to see Star Wars with his friend instead of seeing me. When I told him it was my birthday, he ended up going out after the movie to grab a gift, and eventually came to my place at midnight. I spent the whole day waiting for him. He invalidates my feelings after I said I got upset about it. Tried to justify by hanging out properly before my birthday came. At this time, he was looking to move house, and I helped him. He assumed I was going to move in with him, without asking me beforehand. I was brave enough to tell him, "I'm scared to move in with you because of how you treat and insult me," and begged him to stop doing it, and that he had to change. I ended up calling him what he is and standing up for myself. No, it isn't pretty. He proceeds to tell me to die in a hole, you sad little c***. After all I asked was for reassurance. Fuck our anniversary. I'll take someone else out next week. You are nothing without me. I don't want you, lol. I put up with you. Please bury yourself in the fucking garden. Die. Just die in a fucking hole, you dumb c***. I called him abusive and he calls me a melt. I told him I was going to bed, having not had any previous argument, and this started a clash because I said it in a bad tone. He goes, "I'm going to fucking kill you, and I'm going to break your neck." After that argument, the same month as when we moved in with each other, this is when things got more real for me, and I decided to start noting things down, recording, and texting my mom. We had the worst arguments I've ever experienced with anyone, but after the move it became even worse. On the 4th day of living together, on the 19th of October, he had taken it to the next level and got physical in a fight. It started as a screaming argument where I begged him to leave me alone and to just stop. I ended up trying to get away from him and he followed me. I went to walk downstairs and he grabbed my hood and pulled me back till I fell on the floor. He told me that I'm not getting away, so I got up and made a run for the bathroom. He gets in my way and grabs me. He puts me in a headlock and covers my mouth because I'm screaming for him to get off of me. I got to the bathroom and locked it behind me, and he screams from the other side calling me crazy, telling me to leave the house after I asked him to leave me alone. Some other days after that argument, he would scream in my face telling me to kill myself multiple times. In arguments over small things. He would walk away then come back angry as if he couldn't leave without screaming, having me back down and be silent until I broke down. This evolved to the point where I would be shaking and scared for my life every time he came close or was in the same room as me whilst arguing. He still blamed me for our arguments. And to get back at me, he started with small petty things, like breaking my glasses without me knowing, and throwing them away in the trash. He even helped me go look for them, pretending he was innocent until I finally suspected he did indeed throw them away, and and he laughed whilst admitting doing so, acting like it wasn't a big deal. I ended up feeling detached from reality because I woke up depressed daily. Some days I didn't want to be near him, or be intimate with him. And this would spark arguments and he would get angry at me for still being upset over something he had done a day or a few days before. I was so disgusted by him and his actions towards me. I didn't want him to even be near my own cat, calling him his when he wasn't, and making shitty jokes about taking the cat away from me. This would always end up in me picking up Bear and leaving the room. He ended up being secretive over the phone, to what I then discovered was him stalking his ex on all social platforms. It's been years since they broke up, and found her old not safe for work pictures he kept of her. He said sorry, and that was it. The 28th of December was the day I decided to no longer put up with his behavior. I was getting the house ready for his parents to come over for dinner, as Alex did not clean or prepare anything. He must have thought I was angry at him because I'm cleaning the kitchen. He was constantly asking me if anything is wrong. I tell him multiple times I'm fine and nothing is wrong, I just want to clean. He started shouting, getting hysterical thinking I'm lying, and that I'm pissed off. I say very few words due to the fact that I am mentally drained. I had nothing left in me when we had these arguments. I barely said anything. He asked for tasks he could do to help in panic. I tell him to wipe the sides of the kitchen counters, take out the bins, etc. He starts screaming after I gave him more than one task, telling me he couldn't handle more than one at a time. So after he overreacts, I start to walk away. On my way out of the kitchen, he kicks me in the back, and I turn and say nothing. At this point, it was the second time he'd hurt me, and I was scared, so I texted my friend to pick me up, and I started packing. He follows me around the house screaming random things at me, trying to justify his actions for going too far. I recorded this because I was scared he would hit me again. I say nothing, and I am panicking to the point where I am sweating from fear, as he is following me, screaming at me, calling me the N-word, and useless, etc. And with this, she attached a video to her original document titled, "Following me after he kicked me and I'm packing up my things.mp4. Here is that video.
Over what? I don't understand. Because you ain't got anything to fucking be stuck up over. But for some reason something isn't good enough for you. You get to do whatever you fucking want all day. It's like, and then you look like a fucking miserable fucking little cunt all the time. Like your face is annoying to look at, like when I come downstairs. Like I'm actually fed up of looking at you. Which is why I sleep downstairs, because I don't want to have to come upstairs and, oh, you're taking all the covers. It's like, fucking woman, just like, fucking ask me to buy another one, or stop fucking complaining. Like, nothing, the thing is, it annoys me, is nothing needs to be an argument, because everything is fixable. Buy a new duvet, I sleep downstairs. But no, you've always got to act like none of this stuff, because you don't actually try and fix any of your fucking problems. Like, it's infuriating at this point. Like earlier, you're miserable about something in the kitchen. All you have to do is say what it is and it's fixed. It's fine. You don't actually clean up after yourself. Nigga, neither do you. So, we're even. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I don't go around fucking complaining about everything that you don't clean up after. Why? But you don't look that in your fucking little small brain. You're not even honest to pay for any of it. So, who really fucking cares what you have to say? And what does it even fucking matter? If you want to clean up, I'll fucking hire one. It's my money. But this is the thing, even right now, you just ignore all of that. I'm giving you options for everything, you just ignore everything. You're not actually trying to sort out any of these problems. And if you've got a problem with bins, man, why don't you fucking call them? Why does it have to be me? You can fucking call people, you can get it sorted, you can take them out if you want to. But no, because Alice doesn't actually fucking do anything. I'm trying to fucking, right now, I'm spending pretty much fucking every single day trying to figure out where fucking 75,000 fucking pounds has gone. And whether I'm ever going to get it. And then any of my future YouTube revenue. Because the company's holding my channel fucking hostage. So yeah, sorry I forget about to fucking clean the side sometimes. I got bigger fish to fry. And I still have to post.
Go away.
You just don't think about any of that.
Go away.
Such a fucking woman.
Go away. So are you. Ironically.
Huh?
So are you.
I tried to stop this like 7 times.
Then you could have stopped. It was you. It was all you.
I tried to stop it.
Go away.
I did try to stop
Go
it.
away. Go away. Just go away.
Infuriating.
Yes.
Like, if you had to do half the shit I had to do, you would understand why loads of stuff doesn't get done. You don't even know the fucking
Go away. Just go away.
You upload one
Go away.
half-assed
Go
video
away.
every 3
Go
weeks.
away.
And it does
Go
terribly.
away. Go away.
Well, I slept up here because you made me. I wanted to sleep downstairs so I could fucking actually wake up on time today.
I didn't make you.
Yes, you did.
No.
You were throwing a fucking fit.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Well, you can stop this right now.
Yeah, shut up. You're following me and going on. Fuck off. Please.
After I left, I later picked up my things after he threatened to throw them outside. I found everything on the floor and taken apart. The keyboard was smashed and scattered everywhere. He claimed the keys had fallen off of my keyboard when he was packing it all away. When I got home and plugged everything in, I found the monitor screens were both smashed to bits, the keyboard broken, and the camera too. She then shows the pictures of that, and continues by saying, "After I ended the relationship, he tried to manipulate me, telling me we just need time and that he will change, and begged me to give him a chance to change and make things better. This went on for months. He kept doing this, then getting angry when I didn't give back the same energy. Of course, I didn't because I came to the realization that I was abused, lost, and had no idea what to do at the time. He started doing little things he knew would get my attention, in an attempt to spark any conversation, like following exes or people we argued about, girls he slept with and kept pictures of. Started trying to take me back into the house, telling me he's put the bins out and asking me to come over for dinner. He ended up arguing with me over situations, with me not wanting to give him time or attention. Of course I don't. I left him. He abused me. He couldn't accept this. I ended up blocking him and he finds another social platform to message me on and argue. I blocked him again, so he ended up messaging all of my accounts, including the account I made for my cat Bear, asking and begging for a phone call so he can move on. After everything he did, he was still thinking about himself and how he could make it better for him. I kept telling him that I didn't want to call or meet him. Eventually he tells me I deserve better and gets all sorry for himself after he realizes I'm actually not coming back. He sends me apologies and owns up to everything he's ever done to me in voice notes and videos crying while still begging me for a phone call so he can talk or move on. I don't and won't ever want to give him that. And with this, Alice attached a voice memo Alex left her titled, "It wasn't your fault.wav. Here is that voice note."
Sorry, my phone cut off. It wasn't acceptable behaviour, like in any way, shape or form. It was insane. Like, I guess I've just been stuck in that cycle for so long that I felt like I could do no wrong. I felt like I was the fucking, oh, look at me, I do all this fucking work and I do everything and I try and do this and, just nobody's appreciative and, I know you appreciated it and I know that you appreciated the effort that I used to put in And then I just stopped because I had you, and you're my girlfriend, and we lived together, and the more further we got through our relationship, the less effort I put in. You know, and if it wasn't for you leaving, I might never, ever have changed my ways. I might have just continued on like that. At the end of the day, the only thing that's important is that I didn't listen to you. You were right. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. I was impossible to work with. I didn't make it easy. I constantly thought inwards about myself and not about you and what was going on. I didn't make any attempts to change. I didn't make any attempts to fix my life. I made excuses. And it got to the point where I wanted to be alone, because if I was alone, nobody could tell me that I was fucking up and that I was doing anything wrong. And for the first week that you weren't here, I just spent the entire week doing nothing. And after that week, I realised just kind of like how fucked up my life was, and I have made attempts to try and fix it. You know, I have a schedule, I take out the bins, I look after the cats. You know, I'm like a functioning person. I go out for my bike ride. I've been sorting out my doctor's appointment, even though it's bloody hard in the middle of fucking nowhere. And I am just like so frustrated because I've been doing all of that, but then I've been getting on with you, and instead of like apologizing, I've been trying to just be like, oh no, look, I'm good now. Like, I'm perfectly fine now. I'm like a person. Everything's great. And I realise that must come across as like so dismissive to you. Or also like, why is he doing that stuff now? Why is he being like this now? Why couldn't it have been like this back then? And then you get upset or angry, which is fine and understandable. Or I do something to upset and anger you, like following some fucking idiot on Twitter or Instagram, some woman. And, yeah, you must think like, oh, this guy's like, he's just a fucking cunt. And he's being a cunt, and he's not stopping being a cunt, and he's not gonna apologise for what I did, and he's not gonna try and make it work with me. He just kind of wants me to be here. He doesn't want to lose me. I was trying to be like too cool and nonchalant at points, and then I would let it slip how uncool and how not well I was taking everything, and by that I mean my behaviour. I haven't been lashing out at you because of the fact that you left me. I've been lashing out at you because of the fact that I didn't fix my stuff. And I think what's worse, I'm being completely honest here, because I don't want to leave anything off the table at this point, is that, like, I generally had a conversation, like, with my friends a few months ago just about, like, how much I feel like, you know, I have just, like, I don't feel good about myself, and I hadn't, and I would wake up a lot of the times when I was with you, and I'd think, I knew that I, like, didn't deserve to still be with you, and instead of fixing it, I was just like, oh, I've already fucked it anyway. I became worse. Like, I sabotaged it. And it was intentional, because I knew that I was being shitty. And I just thought, oh, it's already too late. And it's really fucking piss poor. Obviously, it wasn't as clean cut as that. A lot of this stuff has been really complicated to work out, you know, because I blow hot and cold. You've seen me. I'm apologising 1 minute, shouting the next. Angry 1 minute, please come here, hold me. You know, it's like, I just feel like I've been really battling through this very weird thing Also, you know, with issues we'd have, you did this. Oh, wait, no, I see you didn't. It's okay, don't worry about it, forget about it. But it doesn't matter. I opened up a wound, and it scars, and the scar is always there. Just because I feel okay about it now doesn't mean that you did. And when I used to say stuff about, like, why can't we just move on? It's because I felt like I felt like I was comfortable. And I didn't make the effort to see if you were. And if you weren't, because I was, I didn't understand why you couldn't be. Now, I don't really know what that is. But I know that it's wrong. And I know that I knew of it. And to be honest, I thought that at a certain point, when I was sleeping on the sofa and stuff, I convinced myself that that's what you wanted. You obviously didn't. So I'm not saying you wanted it and I did it. As in, I convinced myself because I was making an excuse for myself. Not as in, I was doing it for you. I don't mean if I say anything along those lines, that's not how I mean it. I wasn't doing it for you, I was doing it for me. It was easier to avoid you. I wasn't putting the effort in. Because you obviously had said, like you have on this, like, give me time to come back, talk properly, apologise. I need time to process stuff. And I wasn't doing it. And then I started doing it almost like out of spite. Like, I started doing it being like, oh, yeah, well, I'm sleeping on the sofa now. Isn't this what you wanted? Isn't this what you wanted me to go away? Because I'm such a fuck up? It was like self-pitying, self-absorbed bullshit. And, it's just really, like, fucked up thing to do to you at the end of the relationship. So I know why you left, because at that point, there was, like, no love. At least I wasn't showing it anyway. A kiss when you're playing League probably was more annoying than anything, because you know I was probably doing it to avoid our problems. I got too reliant on you putting me in my place and then you forgiving me. Like, it just became a cycle. I allowed you to be the fixer-upper of our relationship, and it wasn't right, And then I made everything worse. There's so much more that I could go into detail about and talk about. I don't know. Really, like, there's a lot. It's sometimes, like, hard to keep on track and, but I feel like, right, like, that's something that I wanted to say on top of everything. I just want to make it really clear that, like, it's, like, it was me. And anything that I said before in any argument, I have looked back at all of them. I went back and read them. I read old iMessages from us from the beginning of the last year. I could see how I caused everything. Jealous about you playing games with your friends because I wanted you to dedicate your life to me. Not in a fucking weird way. I just, I wanted to run off into the sunset with you. I was madly in love. But probably, I had, oh, fuck, my toe. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ow, fucking hell. I was madly in love, and, I wanted to just fucking keep you as my own. I don't want anybody else to have your time or anything. And, it's fucked up because, now I understand it. When I started playing games with my mates, I didn't have... At the time, I was just working. I was jealous of what you had, and I wanted to be involved because my friends had stopped playing games ages ago. It didn't really talk. Everybody had moved away. At the time we met, the only thing I had going was making YouTube videos and you. And, it's why for the first, 3-4 months, I was just, constantly obsessed. And then I did try to make it more healthy. That's why I started playing games with my friends. But even then, I started to do that at the point where I should have been giving you more attention. I was doing everything in the wrong order. And for the wrong reasons. And I am deeply sorry for that. And I just wanted to make that clear that I can see every single direction where I went wrong. And obviously there's more stuff that upset you. You know, and, you know, my behaviour recently, like, after that, you know, that's just a horrible misplace of my own ego. Like, I have wanted you to run back to me, and I wanted you to, you know, be forgiving. I wanted you to just kind of go, yeah, that's good enough, Alex, you've tried, or we'll work on it. And you did do that. It's the worst part, is you did do that. And at the time, I wanted so much more. I was like so desperate for you to just like fucking come back home. That anything else that wasn't that just made me so frustrated, because, you know, I felt like it was slipping away. But not just that, I felt like you know, I even said to you, like, I'm worried that I haven't got to a place. I was still being vicious and lashing out at you and being angry. But I was like using it as like an excuse to fucking do it, being like, look, I might do it. It was like it was blackmail. Like, I was being like, you should call me, because if you don't call me, you're gonna lose the apology, and I'm gonna be all angry. And it's because I couldn't control my emotions at all. And I wasn't trying to. I wanted to. I felt like anytime you pulled away, I wanted to just burn everything down. That was just where my brain went to. Just fuck everything. Yeah, obviously, I'm not at that place anymore. But I was for like 4 fucking months, so that's way too long. Obviously, there are points where I was doing better, but I wanted you to move at my pace. And obviously, I was sprinting, because I did know the damage I'd done. So I was trying to push you too fast and further than you wanted, by showering you in gifts and sending you messages and trying to call you and being like, let's meet up and all of that. I should have done it all in the first week. I'm really deeply sorry that it took me this long to really reflect properly on everything. I was still victimizing myself, and it was wrong of me, and I should not have made that even more of an issue for you. Just really I really wasn't responsible. I wasn't being responsible, I mean. Because I was responsible, but I wasn't being responsible for your feelings. And, you know, I can't believe that I was, how I was thinking. I'm sorry that this is super long on top of everything I've already sent you. I'll cut it here and wait for you to respond, and then, maybe I'll send more or whatever. I just want you to know that it's not your fault. And it wasn't your responsibility to fix me. And it wasn't your responsibility. Like, I only came to this conclusion because I had to do it myself. Like, I had to go through this to get to this point, to figure this out. You didn't have to. You don't have to be a part of this. You don't have to have this happen. I should have done this at my own time, on my own accord. But I chose to bury my issues before fixing them. But it's not you. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Like, you're not responsible for this. You're not responsible for what happened. You tried your best. It's nothing to do with you. It's not because there's something wrong with you. It's not because you're lesser or because you have issues. It's not because of that. Like, you were fine. It's not because you... It's not because of you. It's nothing to do with you. You were so open with me about so many things. I knew how you felt about all the stuff that I used to make excuses as to why I was feeling that way. Sorry. Like, I knew how you felt about everything. We spoke about everything. We covered everything. We buried everything. We'd have conversations about everything. It took me to meet your friends to stop being a fucking bitch about them. That's not acceptable. You just shouldn't have been a bitch about them in the first place. They were lovely people. I trusted them. Obviously, the recent stuff was kind of sucks, but that wasn't your fault. And, you did actually tell me, and you were upfront and honest about it, which is more than I could say for how I've been. And instead, I used that to call you a liar. So I understand why you, I understand it's my fault why we have a lot of all of the issues. Sorry, not a lot. I'm not trying to let myself get off the hook. All of them. And with work and stuff, I know that you were just trying to enjoy it. And I was making it unenjoyable for you because I wasn't having fun. So I believed that everybody else shouldn't have fun and that you shouldn't have fun. And that I convinced myself that life is miserable and life is fucking putting up with stuff. And, I just remember moments with you where I was my happiest and, sat in your bedroom, just me and you, just lying there together. And, it should have been that all the time. And when we got bare, or you got bare, sorry, still doing it, just how happy I was for you, because I thought it would help you heal. But I was right there just making stuff worse. I made them, even your relationship with the cat, like, I was upsetting you. And because I was being selfish and being like, why doesn't she, I was like, why doesn't she want to share the cat with me? And it's because of the way that I was acting. And I knew that, by the way, it's not me, I didn't just figure that out. Like, I knew that back then. I was like, of course she's going to take the cat away from me. I'm being a dick. Why would she want a cat near me? She doesn't want the cat to be attached to me because she probably wants to leave. And I felt that at the time, and instead of doing anything about it, I just fucking moped and sulked like a fucking child. I'm sorry for getting emotional. I'm just really angry at myself. Because you were the best. And I was the fucking... Oh, God. But you were... And even all the way back to when you said that stuff about the bipolar disorder. And I was mean. I read that text the other day. And I'm so angry. Like, why was I like that to you? I know what I meant at the time, but I was making it about me. And you said that, you knew that. And I did apologise back then. But I didn't change any behaviour. Like, I saw you say that and I thought, oh, that's an excuse for why she doesn't text me. That's an excuse for why she doesn't want to talk to me. Because I was down your throat. And in reality, you were just trying to say it's not my fault and I'm doing my best. But instead I thought you were using it because I was so convinced myself that like, you were out of my league and that I didn't deserve you. And also that I was going to fuck it up. I'd convinced myself that you were always looking for a way out. When in reality, you just wanted me to be normal. You didn't want my money. You didn't want anything from me, apart from me to just be what I could be all the time. And I'm so sorry, Alice. I'm so sorry. I let you down. And I don't deserve to be forgiven. I don't deserve anything. I should be held accountable for my mistakes. To you, it was wrong. And I'm sorry, but it's taken you to do everything in your power to really make me understand it. I really held on to the last minute to not do this. Like, I tried my best to avoid this. And I don't know why, because if I'd have done it, if I'd have actually just truly been like, I fucking suck, I just didn't want to admit it, because honestly, I had convinced myself that my ego was the only thing that was keeping me going. I'd convinced myself it was the only reason I was working. I'd convinced myself it was the only reason why I could get anything done. And that if I didn't have my ego, then I wouldn't be able to work. And I'd give up on everything. And I'd quit. And then, you know, I'd give up on life. And I'd just be this fucking mopey loser. When in reality, I think if I'd have just given up on everything, I would have been happy with you. But instead, I convinced myself that this fucking terrible behaviour was powering me like a fucking machine. And I told myself that without it, I would not be able to work and make myself do stuff, because I beat myself up all the time to work. I don't do it for fun. I wasn't doing anything out of enjoyment. I was doing it like, I've got to fucking do this. If I don't do this, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to fuck stuff up. Nobody's going to want to be around me. Nobody's going to be friends with me. But in the process, I was just pushing you away. And like you said it the other day, that you'd rather have nothing and be happy than have everything and be miserable. And, I would do anything in the world to have absolutely nothing right now apart from you. I would trade all of this, everything here, because it's worth nothing. It's not worth fucking anything. It's just built on being miserable. You were the only thing I had that I actually enjoyed. And I convinced myself that somehow that loads of it was fake and wrong. And I used it to hurt you. I'm going to leave this here. I don't know what you'll have to say. And I understand, really, whatever happens. Like, I'm not going to hold anything against you. Like, it's not your fault. I don't hold any of it against you. I don't hold anything. I understand. Like, I do. And I'm sorry for crying. I just, when I start, I don't open up ever, because I have kind of shut all of this stuff down for so long. Like, I hadn't cried in forever. The only time I ever cried is when I apologised to you, and that was because I realised kind of how much I'd fucked stuff up. And, seeing you hurt is just the worst. I don't want that. I don't want to see you hurting. I want that less than anything in the world. And I'm sorry for putting you through so much.
After I explained to him how he was abusive, he claimed that I was abusive too, to try and spark a reaction, as afterwards he said, "I'm joking," and "I didn't mean it like that. You didn't wrong me like I did you. I know that." He continuously begged me to call him so he can apologize and wanted me to forgive him. He ended up sending things to my house like teddy bears and flowers, his hoodie that has been sprayed heavily with his aftershave, and a letter to try and achieve this. He mentions, "I wish you had broken up with me," to my face. I did, when I walked out the door with my things after he kicked me. She then shows the letter that Alex wrote, which starts off with him saying, Dear Alice, I'm so sorry for not fixing my behavior before, and I understand this might be too little or too late. I hurt you deeply and will spend forever trying to make that up to you. I'm sorry for blaming you for how I acted. I didn't take responsibility for how toxic I had become. I should have never made excuses for shouting, insulting, and pulling you. I regret our last night more than anything in the world. I'm writing this because I want to show you how much I regret and am ashamed of hurting you. You are my world, and every day without you has been eye-opening to how you must have felt. I'm not looking for forgiveness. I will spend every day trying to earn your trust. I am writing this on the chance that I can work to be able to have that chance. I would do anything to win you back. You were right, and I'm sorry I didn't listen. You were the love of my life, and I will never forgive myself for hurting you. I will spend every day working towards fixing what I broke. I promise to never downplay or ignore you ever again. I took this time to reflect on everything, and I'm making steps to put myself right. There's so much more I could talk about, but I really don't want to relive it any longer. This was an awful toxic relationship. I should have left just 2 months in, knowing and finding out the kind of person he actually is. But that's what happens when a narcissist meets an empath. They feed off it. I had communicated my best, made him aware of what made me uncomfortable, and it wasn't listened to. In no way am I trying to make myself look as if I never said anything mean. I went through months of this horrible treatment that words like these became normal for when arguments came about. Words no longer held weight towards the end. I stooped down to his level and became reckless with my language, to try to prove the point of, this is how you treat me, so have it back. I was pushed to the point to react, and I'm so sad it got to that toxic point. But the extent this went with him saying death threats and physical acts was too far. This consisted of a lot of reactive abuse, and I lost myself. I understood he had his own mental health struggles, but it would and will never excuse the amount of trauma he put me through. He went into this with many issues already, and projected them all onto me. He knows and admits to this. I want to also mention I know my mouth isn't clean. I swear for England in every sentence I speak, so I definitely gave it back a few times when I got tired and pushed over the edge. I feel it's necessary to add that. You can only take so much of someone belittling you and telling you they don't love you and that they hate you the whole time you are together. When you are meant to be in love, it tears you apart and changes you. Since all of this happened in public have speculated on their own, from my vent posts and interactions, which I want to tell you is a cry for help, not attention. I've had threats of story manipulation from Alex, so I want to clear all of these up before he gets a chance to try and victimize himself and disregard everything he's done to me. I'm not afraid to own up to anything I've done, because I only ever reacted after the abuse was drilled into me. I had told him to stop saying weird things to the cat. He was joking about taking him away. And why would I let someone who told me they'd break my cat's neck near my cat? This was an argument round mine, so there is no text. He then goes on to say I have punched him in the face over the cat. This is Delulu Island we're on now, because he's trying to grab onto anything he can to create his own story. This didn't happen, and I couldn't tell you where he cooked this up from. This was from an argument where he was being horrible. Had the cat in my arms and came up to me making jokes about taking him away. Alex was in my face all over me doing this, so I pushed him off of me. I mentioned to him that I didn't find this funny and he carries on. I have the threat messages and the real messages at the time of the event he was trying to manipulate. There are so many cases where I ended up taking Bear into another room, saying that taking the cat off him is starting an argument, when I only did it after he said weird things to him. Acts like a child had his toy taken away, when realistically I was uncomfortable with him being near my cat, after saying what he does. These texts are also after the first time he dragged me in an argument, so I'm very much unapologetic in everything I say and toxic back. You can see how things get worse and worse, and I stopped caring about my words because I'm constantly drained by hearing this abuse in person. It took a toll on me and my mental health. The last story he will manipulate is from September, in his old flat. We're in a heated argument screaming at each other, where he was in my face belittling me for everything I do and have ever done, calling me horrible names. Every insult you could think of came out of his mouth to me. Whore, slag, bitch, nobody. I started crying and he looks at me with a straight face and sighs, calls me boring and laughs. I ended up defending myself. I slapped him in the face. This is out of character from me, but he was screaming in my face abuse. I was backed into a corner not knowing what to do. This happened when I grabbed my things and left the flat and called my friend to tell them everything that just happened. Alex spams me to come back, and I end up giving in and going back because I'm scared. For legal and obvious reasons, I won't attach all the evidence I have, but in due time it may be made public. He has tried to get me to stay quiet online and has suggested he would deny all of this. If this happens, I will release more undeniable evidence. And speaking of evidence, there were a bunch of text messages and screenshots corroborating what Alice was saying in this post, but for brevity's sake, I just decided to read her summaries of everything instead. If you want to see all that text proof, it will be in the description below, but one thing I do want to show you that she attached are the clips she recorded of Alex being abusive to her on Discord that were conveniently gathered up and shared by Chantelli and Teresa on Twitter. Here are those clips.
Sorry first.
So I'm a fucking whore mouth bitch retard cunt.
Is it generally because you're just fucking brain dead?
Yeah, I'm very brain dead, yeah.
Is that why you decided to go on the fucking offensive instead of the,
Didn't go on the
maybe...
offensive.
Okay. I don't know what to call what you did. It was weird. It's always weird. You always take the fucking weird route. Just do the normal route, which is... Just do the normal route, but a normal girlfriend
You're
would do.
acting
Go,
like
I
this is all
mean
just
it.
me, and that's something you really need to fucking fix.
I'm gonna fucking bash your fucking head against the wall with a brick if you don't shut the fuck up. Because this one, genuinely, this one, you fucked this, royally fucked this. The thing about you, and this is the thing, and this is why I fucking go round and round in circles. I join call, and when you're talking to me, going, this is the thing, even though now, when it's too fucking late, you admit that you did everything fucking wrong. But when it actually matters, when you should lay down like a good fucking dog, you don't fucking do it. You fight for some reason. I don't know why you fight, because you're losing, because you end up admitting that you fucked it all up anyway. So it's just fucking weird. And I know that you're going to end up admitting that you fucked it all up, which is why I see like massive issues there. And you think you can just fucking ignore them because like, well, what's the worst that can happen? I don't know. Your boyfriend's a fucking famous internet celebrity and doesn't trust these people because he has to keep his circle small. Because you might not have anything to fucking lose, because your life might be down the fucking drain, but I still have quite a lot that I would like to fucking give. You're making it incredibly fucking hard for me. Just like Lewis did.
Yeah.
I fucking hate all of you. You guys are fucking like I can't make any videos of Paul Breach. What judging mental is. I think I may have said like 100 times to the point where it's actually really hard to follow what I'm saying because it's so flexible. I've gone, you could do this, but you might be able to do that, but you might be able to do that, and you might be able to do this, and this might work, but you might be able to do that. And it sounds fucking mental. I don't even understand how you could possibly actually follow along to it. Like most of my friends struggle to actually understand what I'm saying. But that's why I'm a professional and you're all not. And then when you go, I don't like this. It's a
Moving on to the Twitter reactions to all of this, Willie Mac Show says, so in the fight you guys were having over following people, was it that you were cheating? I struggled to understand the context to any of these clips or text. It's clipped so perfectly. Alice responds, he was following girls he was in relations with previously. I do note this in my statement. Sorry, it's messy. Willie Mac Show responds by saying, not to be rude, but you didn't answer my question. In your doc, it says he called you names because you were replying to followers. And then you found out he was following exes. Was the context to these arguments about cheating? Alice responds, no. No one cheated. And then Willie thanks her for clarifying. RealOnox1 says, support victims, always. Wonderstruck says, just finished reading through the drive. Genuinely deplorable behavior. I sincerely do apologize for the volatile behavior that was directed towards you. MC says, could always tell that fella was a strange freak. Sorry this happened to you. Hope you're alright. Eleanor says, I'm so sorry you went through this for so long. The screenshots and videos are horrifying. You were incredibly brave for getting yourself out of that situation, and I'm so glad you are safe now. Sending love. Achito says, ImAllexx being a fucking freak was on my 2024 bingo card. 33335 says, I hate to say this, but this is the most predictable exposure of someone I've ever seen. It's also entirely in character for ImAllexx to turn on his face cam while he verbally abuses his girlfriend, cause he's just that fucking stupid. Lorex quote tweets Alice and says, ex-girlfriend of ImAllexx, Alice, has just made her public accusations against him, which is 82 pages and a bunch of other video recordings. Holy shit. Justin responds by saying, he is cooked. There is nothing he can do to recover from this. Cavos quote tweets Alice and says, ImAllexx gets exposed by his ex-partner with plenty of receipts. If this is all true, then he is the cowardly, manipulative cretin I have always known him to be. Everything I have read here is disgusting. It's mind-blowing how many receipts there actually are. Zach responds by saying, "You are the only YouTuber I can think of that isn't part of the UK circle jerk." Kavos responds, "Why do you think the bigger ones constantly try to discredit me without any actual arguments or proof? Other than me being a hater," laughing my ass off. Kavos reacts to the death threat video clip by saying, "ImAllexx threatening his girlfriend on a Discord call just got leaked. I'm gonna fucking bash your fucking head against the wall with a brick if you don't shut the fuck up. What a disgusting piece of shit. Always knew he was a complete cretin." Andy responds by saying, "Yeah, but why was he looking at the camera? All seems staged." Kavos responds, "It's a private Discord call between him and his ex." Emily responds by saying, "What was the context? I really need to know. Can't believe Alex would be like this. I genuinely liked his content." Kavos responds, "Imagine asking for context for someone telling his girlfriend he's gonna bash her head into a wall with a brick." Eva says, "Context is still important. What Alex said is fucked, but it doesn't excuse potential wrongdoing on Malice's part either. It's way more nuanced than that. Look at Johnny versus Amber as an example of how both sides can be guilty." Kavos responds, "I agree it is important, but we can clearly see here he gets uncomfortably angry and says that shit to her. It isn't like they are having a big argument. For clarity here, context is important, but this clip we see him and his girlfriend arguing, and then he takes it to an extreme level. On top of the Google document where he threatens her more, calls her all sorts of disgusting names. It is clear that his behavior is fucking disgusting, and a pattern." Crash responds by saying, "Welp, there goes another good YouTuber." Kavos responds, "He was never good." Nogla responds by saying, "He has the Satan goat on his t-shirt. Just saying." Lux also posts the clip of ImAllexx threatening his girlfriend, and LFC Horror responds with this gif and says, "The downfall of ImAllexx is delicious." Thornhill says, "He was annoying as a creator, and now I have a genuine reason to hate him." Wavy Websurf quote tweets the clip and says, "Bro fired up the 4K live streaming setup to scream at his girlfriend. I'm dead." Turkey Tom responds by saying, "Thought he was gay." Nicholas Diorio responds, "Exposed straight during Pride Month." Willie Mac Show says, "He was a false LGBT. Stolen honor for sure." Mushi Mushimon says, "Those little arms flails," laughing my fucking ass off. Slazo, who was the victim of ImAllexx falsely accusing him of abuse, got his revenge when he posted to Twitter this gif with the caption, "Good morning." Sensitive Society responds, laughing my ass off. Pegasus says, "Laughing my fucking ass off." Bro had the last laugh. Quite, who was also falsely accused and then proven innocent later on, responds with a smiley face. X8 quote tweets Slazo and says, "Bro came back to Twitter after half a year to tweet this." The Poser quote tweets Slazo and says, Slazo after he reads the ImAllexx allegations,
"No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway."
Keemstar tweets out, ImAllexx just accused of sexual assault and abuse by his ex-girlfriend. Video evidence on drama alert. Call Me Beggar responds with this picture of Keemstar in the caption, "Alex, you say?" Adjusted 55 shows a guy about to Minecraft himself and says, "Bro is cooked if there is video evidence." Colossal's Crazy tweets out, "Baited returns for one final episode." Kavos responds, "If you have guests, let me phone in." Keemstar quote tweets Colossal and says, "I'm in." And then the third co-host of the Baited podcast, Tommy C, quote tweets Colossal and says that he's in too. Keemstar also tweets out a picture of Alex and says, "I've been warning you about this wanker ImAllexx since 2016. No one listened!" John quote tweets this and says, "Just a reminder that there is a genuine victim in all of this. Posting things like 'I told you so' is so fucking strange. This isn't about point scoring and trying to seem intelligent. Yes, ImAllexx is a rat, but Alice was abused. Support her and all victims." Forward shows some more text leaks from ImAllexx and says, "Nah, ImAllexx. Me personally, I'd off myself if this shit got leaked." And then it shows just a bunch of uninterrupted messages of ImAllexx with no response from Alice, and as you can see by the messages, he is desperate at this point. So much so that he just spams the word DMs like 7 times in a row towards the end. And speaking of unintentionally funny messages from ImAllexx, in 2017 he tweeted out, "Sorry I'm not nice when it comes to admitting sexual abuse and manipulation. Peace." Nicholas Diorio then quote tweets him with this clip.
Yes! Yeah! Oh, better luck next time, buddy! Woo! Woo! Yeah, all right! Woo!
Another unintentionally funny tweet from Alex in 2019 was posted by Kavos with the caption, "ImAllexx could be talking to himself here. The tweet has Alex saying, "It's incredibly brave to speak out about your experience. I hope he doesn't get to continue doing this to other impressionable people. Those messages make me feel ill." Shroomy shares a screenshot of a bunch of JoJo Siwa videos that ImAllexx made and captions it by saying, "With all the JoJo Siwa videos he's been making, you'd expect ImAllexx to realize Karma's a bitch and he should have known better." Larek shares some of the texts that Alice provided in her document and captions it by saying, "These ImAllexx texts." The first one he shows starts with Alex saying, "Emotional level of a fucking brick. Just say yes, you dumb whore. You're thick, man." Alice responds, "You are a bad boyfriend calling me a bitch and insulting me every time you get slightly upset." The next image has Alice saying, "Block me." And then Alex responds, "You definitely were giving me shit attitude. Yeah, I won't unblock you though, cause talking to you," and then Alice says, "If that stops me getting called a dumb whore, yeah." And then Alex ignores that to continue typing, "Is like talking to a brick. Maybe don't be a dumb whore?" Alice responds, "Bye," and then Alex says, "That'd be like so much cooler." The next image has Alice saying, "I admitted what I did." And then Alex saying, "I'm going to fucking kill Toy. You." She responds, "Said sorry for my tone. That's not abusive at all." Alex responds, "I'm going to break your neck." And then this last image has Alex saying, "You know what I meant." Alice responds, "Good night." And then Alex says, "So kill yourself, please." And then Larek shows one more, which is his personal favorite, where Alice says, "Okay." And then Alex responds with the N-word. Mario Master 456 says, ImAllexx has the opportunity to do something really funny. I have made a severe and constant lapse in judgment. Okay, so this one's really funny. Robian shares this image and says, "Not ImAllexx trying to communicate through Amazon." Let's all point and laugh. And then they show an image of Alice holding up a paper with an Amazon gift message from Alex saying, "I am deeply sorry for upsetting you and letting you down constantly. I hope one day you can forgive me and we can talk. From Alex Emsley." Oh my god, imagine getting blocked on everything to the point where the only way to communicate with someone is through Amazon gift messages. That is quite creative. Charon Tor shares this gif and says, ImAllexx bragging that he's a professional YouTuber and streamer when he hasn't been relevant for years. Pimpin' Pete says, "Imagine paying for your ImAllexx cameo and the doc drops half an hour later, showing that the last completed cameo order from ImAllexx was indeed 30 minutes before the document dropped." Riley says, ImAllexx shitting on his girlfriend's depression when he non-stop talks about his own depression in YouTube videos is insane. Pegasus tweets out this image of ImAllexx wearing a shirt that says, "I accuse my friends of rape," and captions it by saying, "Hello everyone, ImAllexx." Nicholas Diorio responds, "I remember making this stupid meme 5 years ago, laughing my ass off. Wild to see it hit the timeline." Pegasus responds, "It's a classic." Bot says, ImAllexx is an actual fucking villain, laughing my ass off. Imagine spending years preaching, believe victims, and acting so holier than thou when it comes to other content creators being outed as abusers, only to be a sick, demented fuck yourself. The call is always coming from inside the house. I used to be so sad that he dumped me as a friend out of nowhere, but now I'm genuinely grateful the universe protected me from that slimy bastard. Just a disgusting individual. Yuri Tones responds, also him being exposed as an abuser makes his involvement with the Slazo allegations all the more ironic. And if you want to learn all about the Slazo allegations, it was over 4 years ago, but I was on YouTube around that time, so I do have videos up on the channel about that, so you can check that out if you'd like. As for this situation, I'm probably going to give my opinion over on my streaming channel Mayo Monkey, so go subscribe there if you want to hear what I have to say. But if you want to weigh in on this situation yourself, be sure to do so by joining the discussion in the comments section below. Anyways, that's about it for this video, but this situation is ongoing, so of course there is going to be another ImAllexx video coming soon. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss that. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video.